Hey the berries, welcome to a Diamond 2 Sona Support game playing with a Varus. And up against a Vayne Nautilus. I was picking blind. If I had known I was going up against a Nautilus, I may have considered picking something like a Leona. I've been doing a lot of Leona games since I buffed recently. And yeah, Leona's been pretty fun to play, but alas, that is not the case. I chose an enchanter that is S tier in my tier list. Probably would have actually leaned more towards Soraka actually, but I've already done a Soraka game recently, which will be going up onto YouTube, so thought I'd spice up the content a little bit. Yeah, mental, aren't I? Overall, this laning phase, Varus have a slight advantage in the 1v1 to the Vayne, but that will fall apart a little bit as the game goes on. The big one is like the Nautilus engage. If we can not get a hook to maybe mitigate that a little bit, I think we'll be fine overall. It'd be interesting to know. I think it's Lethality Varus, which I'm not 100% sure about because he is playing with a Sona. It's got Arcane Comment, so that's basically tells me it's probably Lethality. So yeah, but it was that hilarious from now the recent Leona game about. Oh yeah, so if you visited my YouTube channel recently, I have uploaded a Leona game and I used AI art to I basically wanted a funny thumbnail where Leona's kind of pointing at Kai'Sa and kind of like saying like, "You're trash." What the hell? What the hell? What? Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, pointing at the Kai'Sa and going, "Haha, I'm roaming now," or something. And I ended up using like AI art to make that work. I tried to see if I could find some poses from Leona and Kai'Sa in order to make that work, but there wasn't a way of doing it. And then as soon as I posted the thumbnail, a few hours later, people were like, a couple of people like, Bizzleberry, people using AI art are absolute garbage. I've now made it a thing where if I see any YouTubers using AI art as a thumbnail, I unsubscribe to them. One of them was like, I love your videos, Bizzleberry. I've been subbed to you for over 3 years, watching your content for years, but because you use AI art in your thumbnail, I'm now unsubscribing. I was like, okay. Oh yeah, it was, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm never gonna use AI art ever again. I don't, I get like maybe taking money away from like artists or whatever, but like I was never gonna pay an artist to do that kind of mock-up anyway. So, I don't know, I guess it's a touchy subject I think for a lot of people because I know there's a lot of artists in my community as well, so but I didn't realize it was such a big boycotting thing, so I won't be doing that anymore. But I don't know, I didn't really I don't see it, I don't know if I'm too naive or whatever, but I don't really see the harm behind doing it personally for a YouTube thumbnail. Because it's not like I can afford to pay an artist anyway to do it, and I don't know if it's technically stealing or not. I'm just not someone who've done so much research about AI in general anyway, so. Like the art that's been done, like, I don't know. It's taking references, I'm sure, from like Google or whatever, right? But I don't know the ins and outs behind it. All I know is that you can pay for a service for AI to do it, so there must be, like, from my perspective as a customer, there must be some legitimacy behind it. Otherwise, surely it would be illegal, right? Right? Just pay real artists? I mean, I do for a lot of stuff. It's the first time I've used AI art. But yeah, as I said, people get very touchy about the subject. I mean, AI in great for other facets, but not art. But I mean, like, AI in general, like, under that ballpark anyway, right? Isn't, like, just all AI bad then? Isn't all AI just stealing? Unless the person has, like, fed it information that has been approved for other people to give the AI. Isn't like all AI programs like open AI and stuff, isn't that just stealing anyway?
I find inspiration in every smile and every tear.
So yeah, I don't know. Because isn't like AI, non-AI art, so AI but not to do with art, isn't that all just also then just taken from the internet and taken from art people, what people have been typing in articles and stuff like that? So how does that, presumably under that case, doesn't make that any better either, right? So you could say, you can make the same argument in terms of like, well, what? You're using an AI program to help you do all of the software stuff, but why not pay a software engineer to help you with the problem that you have? Okay, that's not too healthy. So I don't know. It's a weird like ethical spectrum that I think a lot of people that don't dislike AI art also use AI for their own personal thing, and that's also been stolen as well. So I don't understand why the line is different for different things. Why pay Google Translate to pay someone to help you translate? Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't, what's the limit? What's the cutoff? Like, it's weird.
A wrong note is just a happy little accident.
But yeah, I won't be using AI for my thumbnail. I'll just try to do something fun. And yeah, it didn't have the result I wanted it to have. Because it did seem to upset a few people that I had done that. This Nocturne's just lying and waiting there with his ulti. I'm saving my power cord. Okay, and jumped here. He's got no flash. Again, AI art literally steal pieces of art from artists without consent. It's not only code. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. Like, if that is the case, I'm not disagreeing and that's the case. But I'm saying, like, in terms of using AI, like when I was using Anna, for example, people were fine with that. But then, like, on hindsight, and wasn't I just stealing from other people's things on the internet, essentially? And that's the conundrum. Like, where's the line? Where's the cutoff? So I think we've established that AI art is probably not the way to go, right? As an artist, please don't use AI art. It's harmful towards us. Use art as the full-time job. I mean, there is definitely situations where, yes, I can agree with that. But just to preface this all, like, I kind of agree where a lot of people were coming from now with like the art stuff, and I won't be doing it again, right? But in terms of like, you know, your job is getting impacted by it, a lot of the people that use, in my opinion, a lot of people that use AI art, right, wouldn't have paid an artist anyway in the first place, and would, like, say for example, if I was going to do like Twitch emotes or whatever, I would always go to an artist and do that. I wouldn't pay AI art. I wouldn't like do AI art for doing it, because A, it wouldn't be good enough anyway, and B, if I wanted proper customizations and certain stuff, then I would be able to have that, right? But like the thumbnail thing, I was never going to pay someone to do that, for example. So I wouldn't have said, like, in that case I was preventing an artist from getting paid because I wasn't gonna go paying anyone anyway. So I don't know how much of an artist are actually gonna like actually impacted monetizally, whatever word there, in regards to that. But people accept AI art even if you weren't going to pay. Isn't that contributing to a culture that accepts AI art that would definitely impact artists? I mean, it's like piracy, in my opinion, right? It's no different than like the government, like, you know, movie companies saying, you're pirating this, we're losing out on money, which is kind of true, but piracy is always been considerably overblown and out of proportion. Like, as an ethics person, whatever, I've always paid for my stuff. I've never actually pirated anything, but like, I still think it's always been like piracy. It's always been overblown and out of proportion. I think generally if people can't afford to pay it anyway, like pay for something like that, like a movie, then they weren't going to pay for it anyway in the first place. Like most of the time, I would say like they weren't missing out on income anyway in the first place. So yeah, it's still a crime. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's still a crime to do, for sure, right? Piracy is obviously still a crime. But in terms of like a monetary standpoint, like I don't think people, like for example, the movie companies were actually missing out on money. I think they were probably scared that it was going to become everyone was going to do it kind of thing. I don't know what 9 anime is or anything like that is many. Maybe an unpopular opinion, it will be. But I don't have 200 euros around for whenever I like a personalized painting. So IMO, especially for a non-commercial use, it's okay to use AI. I mean, there's an argument to do non-commercialized stuff with AI. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's the same with like streaming as well. Like, we've already seen people use AI for streams and stuff. Like, my job could be easily taken over by AI, or a lot of streamers' jobs could be taken over by AI. But I think, you know, if that were to happen, I would probably argue that streamers that are being left behind because of AI, their content probably wasn't that good enough in the first place in order to make up for that downfall. I don't know if that's harsh or enough to say for artists itself. I don't know, did you see the AI lead casters? They were very bad. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but we don't know in like 10 years, 20 years time what that's going to look like, right? Like, if I end up losing my job to AI, I'm just going to regard it up to I wasn't good enough, to be honest. An honest opinion though, has there been an artist that could show me a specific piece of AI that stole from them? I don't know. I think with the amount of art that's online, it's very hard to say, like, I don't know. Recently with Riot? Yeah, that's true. There was a couple of situations, isn't it, with Wild Rift or something, with Riot and icons and stuff. That I think more with that though, it's like they use a blatant reference image from an artist, right? And then they used AI on top of that. I don't know if that's worse or... What? Anyway, thank you guys for having like an actual like civil conversation about this, because I think it's one of those things that is nice to talk about, and I think it helps to educate myself and other people on the matter, rather than just like saying like, oh my god, Bizzleberry, I can't believe you did that, I'm following kind of thing. I think having an actual civil conversation about stuff like this is the only way we can actually progress as a society, because if we're not prepared to have these conversations, then the government isn't. Let's be real, right? If we as an individual level can't have these conversations civilly, how can we expect people in our parliament or our governments to actually have these conversations civilly as well?
Look at this, there's a bunch of berries.
So yeah.
Your turret has been destroyed.
But I will say, like, you know, I probably shouldn't have used the AI art. I understand more now from reading what people are saying and what people have told me. I am now more enlightened to that. I think there is still like an ethics conundrum regarding the situation. I do believe the way I used it was probably on the lower end of the ethics thing, but yeah, I still won't be doing it anyway. I think it's obviously a lot worse when a company, a multi-billion-pound company, uses AI art to potentially steal from people. That's obviously the worst one of AI art stealing. But yeah, it was just from a place where I wasn't really thinking about it, and I just wanted to kind of just do a funny thumbnail, and I couldn't find the... Honestly, it was just like looking for Leona poses, and I couldn't find Leona poses. Oh, what? Okay, I messed up my ulti pretty bad though. But yeah. I don't know if I've got anything else to add to that. But the question also comes down to that, like, was I, like, do people, from now that we're a bit more educated on the matter, do we think that I was wrong to use, like, for example, Anna and the 80 carry gamer god guy on stream? Almost there to kind of reach, but he was just standing there on the spot. Like, I'm starting to think like maybe using those programs and stuff like that was actually probably not a good thing to do. Like, no one's ever like told me off about doing that, but like the more as we were having that conversation about AI art, like it feels like, you know, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I mean, is it a bit disturbing because I felt, and it's like my opinion was kind of taking over your stream? Oh yeah, that's a different matter entirely. That's one of the reasons why I stopped doing it, is because it was kind of like people were kind of like hyped up about it and then wanted to. Yeah, I getting pinged like. Yeah, let's just stop fighting. Yeah, Dinkle, chill out a little bit, yeah? We went from a civil conversation, you're the only one in chat, like, being a little bit cringe. It's a actual conversation, like, you know, things to try and understand each other and our situations a little bit more rather than just going, crybabies. How about actual use words and legitimate arguments in order to help other people understand from your position why they should understand it from your perspective better.
Accelerated movement.
Otherwise you just sound like an idiot. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's an interesting point that I raised there about the AI voice stuff. Because it must be taking like stuff that other people have written, at least anyway, that they haven't given me permission to use on my broadcast, for example.
In unison.
So
Art is
I think there's definitely some sort of grey area there for sure. What is this creep block? I'm still creep block. I can't move.
An enemy has been slain.
There's lots to be concerned about AI, but bad things are not. But those things are not the thumbnails. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna be doing them again. And I think, yeah, I think on an ethics scale, the thumbnail things were low, but I probably shouldn't have done them anyway. Like, it's not like I did anything illegal regarding it. It's more of an ethics issue, but I'd rather be ethically good than even just neutral. Yeah, I can't hit this Nexus. I would love to. I'm gonna die. These minions aren't helping either. They're attacking Ornn instead of the base.
A summoner has disconnected. Victory!
Art is about expressing something. AI art does not express anything but laziness. Well, as I said with the thumbnail thing, I was trying to express my something by doing the thumbnail of having like the depiction of Leona and Kaiser, and I knew that I didn't have the ability to draw that. And I knew I didn't have the ability to pay someone to do that either. So I was trying to, so I did it via AI art. That's why I did it. I feel like it did sort of achieve what I wanted. It wasn't perfect for sure. But on like that case, I feel like it did help me create art, even though I didn't do it, if that makes sense. And potentially stealing other people's work, but yeah. You still had to vision and make the thumbnail. When you use AI doesn't mean it will do 100% to do the job for you. I think that's like a kind of a fair point as well. Like you do have to come up with the idea. You do have to put in a lot of thought on what the smaller details that you want. It's not like you can just click your fingers and then it will just appear. You do have to type in stuff. But I think the overall issue is like the amount of work that you have to do in order to get the art that you want. Like it really only took me a few minutes, right?
Look at this.
Whereas if someone had to go out their way to draw that and doing all of that stuff, it would have taken like hours and hours, I'm sure, right? So yeah, I think the AI art can help, right? Regardless of the stealing bit and the art, you know, that bit was obviously bad, right? It's stealing of other artists' art is bad, right? Regardless of that, I think the AI art can help you create art in itself. It's not like you're going through someone's folder and just going copy paste out of their own artwork. Like, yeah, well, so like in terms of ethic, there are definitely situations I've seen in thumbnails where people just go into people's art books, right? It's definitely like lead content creators that I've seen it. They go to an artist profile page, don't ask for permission. They should do copy paste into their thumbnail and then just ship it. I think a lot of YouTubers do that. I think that's in my opinion, that's worse than just using AI art. So yeah, I don't know how much grief other YouTubers get for doing that, because I see it a lot. Not to justify, you know, me using AI art, but I think that it's quite interesting all the different things that people do ethically in terms of getting art out or doing thumbnail art, right? It is worse, but it's effectively the same principle. Yes, I see that now, yeah. Thank you, Phantom, for the 100 biddies. Yeah, enjoy it yourself. I think I will. Okay, so on a serious note, I was thinking about just doing a 1-minute doodle. Maybe the thumbnail of this video, if this does get sent, will just be a paint thumbnail doodle of Sona playing the piano. I will do my own art to make up for the AI art, okay? And I will give people permission to use my thumbnail art in their own videos, okay? To make up for my misdeeds. I will spend 3 minutes in paint and drawing my own Sona, okay? It will be done. Why did I say that? Now I have to go with it. But yeah, yeah, okay. But yeah, just to kind of clarify, thank you again all for having a very civil conversation about AI art. I will not use AI art again. I completely understand more now from the people that are against AI art usage. I think the people that use AI art still make a lot of good points in why AI art is fine. But I think the main crux of the issue is that there honestly just needs to be a database where like artists, let's just say like a website, right? A website where it's like, if you upload stuff on here, you give permission for AI bots to use these images for their programs, right? I think that would be a great kind of like way to kind of make it ethically fine to do. I would honestly love to see something like that could, you know, artists that are fine with their art going up and being used by other people. So that of people like idiots like me that can't draw, can use their creative brains in order to produce things that they would like to. I think that's what we really need, right? We need an area on the internet where it's like anything that gets posted here, you sign or waive all commercial rights, whatever rights, everything. But you get the feeling, you know, that I don't know how many people do it. I think people do royalty free music and stuff a lot. And yeah, the art generally probably is going to be less quality than, because it's 0.0000001% of all art on the internet, right? But I think it would be a good solution. And I think that's what should be done, honestly. Yeah. I would use it. No one would care about this in a few years. AI is here to stay. Just get used to it. I agree. AI is probably going to be here to stay, and that we need to get used to it, right? I don't think it necessarily saying an arbitrary statement like no one will care about this in a few years' time is wrong. I think people in general should be thinking of an active solution where it's like, if people don't want to have their art stolen without their permission, I think that's absolutely fine, right? That's absolutely fine. But there should also be a place where if you don't mind having your art being used everywhere and stuff, then there should be a space for that to be allowed to happen. So people, as I said, like, you know, AI to be able to use in order to create like new art from references in millions of people's different art style, right? I think if we ever get that middle kind of man website or whatever it is that allows people to do that, I think it will make it ethically fine. And I don't think there's anything that necessarily artists can make an argument against that either. But there is a big flaw I've just realized in that, is that people could easily steal someone else's stuff and add it to the website. And so I don't know how the verify process would go on that, because that would be a big issue in itself, right? That would be pretty hard to moderate. So I don't know. I guess the website also would have to come up with its own art program, and nothing could ever be copy and pasted into the program, and it would have to be only used via the tools on the program or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how that would work. And then I guess you'd be entering into the realm of tracing and stuff. I don't know. I don't know. It would be the dream though, wouldn't it? If everything was ethically sound and stuff. But yeah. It's funny, I opened the stream to this. I just saw a Leona upload on your channel and definitely thought it used AI art from the fact that Leona had pronounced nipples through her shirt and thought it was on. Yeah, I did notice that on the art, but I did wonder if I should kind of smear it out a little bit, but yeah, I didn't, because whatever. Leona has very sharp nips, okay? Did you not know? It's in her law. Okay. Alright guys, well thank you for having the conversation with me, at least anyway. I hope it was I hope everyone stayed until the end, because I think there were some important points to make, and I hope we all learned something new or understood from other people's perspectives a little bit more.